Have you ever experienced that in spite of studying very well for the JLPT exam, you could not do well or you could not clear that exam just because you could not do well in reading comprehension? That is Dokkai. Okay. Today I'm going to talk something about reading comprehension because based on my experience, I have seen that many students who are very good in their grammar, but they are stuck in the reading comprehension section. This is Brushali Deshmukh from Digital Nihongo, and I am here to share some of the tips which, based on my experience, I have analyzed that are going to help the students to come out of that phobia of reading comprehension. So let's start. Dokkai or reading comprehension is one of the most challenging sections for most of you. Now, JLPT assesses non-native speakers, Japanese proficiency and reading comprehension tests your ability to understand written Japanese in various contexts. Now, here are some of the simple tips and tactics to help you prepare for reading comprehension. I have divided these tips into 3 parts, like before the exam, during an exam, and after the exam. Let's go on learning these tips step by step. First is before the exam. What all things you can do before the exam to strengthen your reading comprehension skills? First thing and most important thing is building a good vocab and kanji knowledge. Unless you are able to read kanjis, you will not be able to understand the context and you will not be able to answer the questions. So definitely mastering kanjis is the first step, then building your vocab. I'm going to tell you how you can do this. You can use different flashcards, you can use different apps, or you can read regularly from different sources. Not only the textbook which you are following, but other textbooks, extra materials, you can keep on learning something or the other, and that is how you are going to improve your vocab. Next is practicing with authentic materials. Now, what do I mean by authentic materials? Not only the books which are made for JLPT exams, but storybooks, newspapers, magazines, novels, online articles. These things are authentic material. So if you make an habit of reading these authentic materials, I think definitely you will be improving your reading skills and it will help you to build your vocab as well. Next is, especially from the exam perspective, understand the question types. If you observe any of the JLPT levels, right, from 5 to 1, the Dokkai section or the reading comprehension section has a specific pattern. Short paragraphs, medium-sized paragraphs, long paragraphs, short paragraphs with one questions. There are different types. Depending on the level, they slightly vary. Understand the structure of question paper and accordingly you have to prepare. Then last thing, before the exam, you have to practice for time management. Because many people, they can read, but they take a lot of time to read and understand what they are reading. So time management skills, you have to practice with the alarm clock, set the timer for say 7 minutes, 5 minutes, depending on the question type which you are following, and practice with the timer. Now these things are before the exam. What you are supposed to do during the exam? Very important thing is reading the question first. What people do is they keep on reading the paragraph, then they read the question and then they realize they missed out on the important point. Then they again go back to that paragraph and they start reading again. To avoid this, to save time, read the question first. If you read the question first, you will be aware about what all things you need to look for in the passage. And that way you will be reading it to search for the answer. Then skim and scan. Skim the passage to grasp the main idea. What the passage is about, what is the context, and then scan for specific details. For example, if you're looking for specific phrase, specific word, then that is scanning. So skim and scan. Get an idea, get a context, and then go on searching for the details. Then time management. Now, what do I mean by time management during the exam? Say, for example, you started reading one passage and in between you are thinking that no, this is very difficult, I'm not able to understand most of the questions. Just decide at that point of time and go to the next question. And you can come back to this question after you are done with other questions. Sometimes it happens that you are spending more time in the difficult question, and because of which you are missing out on very simple questions which are placed below those or that question. Please avoid this and be mindful about the time management during the exam as well. Then use elimination method. It's not necessary that once you read the passage and you are getting the answer. Sometimes it might happen that you have to use the logic. Why this answer is not correct? So go on eliminating. Out of the 4 options, I'm very sure that these 2 options are definitely wrong. Then you are left with only 2 options and you can decide between those 2. Okay? So use elimination, not only selection, but elimination method is also very important. Then guess if needed. I would not suggest you to guess the answer, but in some of the cases it might happen that it's very difficult for you to understand that thing, but it's not a good idea to skip any of the questions. So if you are not sure, if you are not confident, it's okay to guess the answer because there is no negative marking. So there is no harm in guessing the answer. But just be mindful and be logical in guessing the answer as well. Okay? Then stay calm and confident. Sometimes you get confused. You feel that this answer is correct, this is also correct. I think this should be fine, this should be correct, and you go into the confusion. But just be confident and stay calm. Okay? And don't lose your focus because of one difficult question. Okay? Even if you encounter one difficult question, just come back to your focus, and with the same focus you have to continue for the next question. Okay? So these are the tips which you can use during the exam. Now, what is after the exam? After the exam, review and reflect. Review the reading materials and reflect on the questions which you found challenging. Then this can help you to identify the areas for improvement. Learning Japanese is a long journey. It's not like that one exam is done and now it's over. You have to learn from your experiences and you have to implement some of the things, implement some techniques to improve on the lacking areas. Okay, so you have to learn from reviewing and reflecting on your experience. And the last but very important thing is consistency, continuous practice. Okay, keep practicing reading regularly, even after the exam, to enhance your reading comprehension skills. Make an habit of reading at least 1 or 2 pages every day from any Japanese novel, any book, or your textbook as well. Okay, and I would strongly recommend to use real life material, authentic material like newspapers. I mentioned about that earlier. So go through those materials and make a habit of. There are many channels as well, online channels, online platforms, websites where you can read news or other stuff related to Japan. Okay, so by incorporating these strategies into your study plan, you can improve your reading comprehension skills and increase your chances of success in JLPT exam. I am very sure about this. Do implement these things which I have told you and comment below which tip you found the most useful. I would love to know with your experiences that which is the most useful thing which you have planned to implement, or after implementation also you can share your experience. How did it go and how did you find it, and how did it help you to improve your reading comprehension skills? Okay, so yes, again signing off, Rushali Deshmukh from Digital Nihongo. Thank you.